it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. I post every day of the week for a while. And today in this video, I'm going to do the Knitwit tag. So this is a tag that I made up just for fun, just so I had a new idea and stuff, just like a new video idea. And I do want to start doing more top 10 videos, and if you guys have any requests for top 10 videos, then please be sure to let me know down in the comments below, because I would really love to hear what everybody wants to see. So I'm gonna get started, and if you guys want to do this tag, I'll put the questions down below, and I'm gonna get started. So question number 1, when did you first start knitting? I first started knitting when I was about 13 years old, so I've been knitting since I was a teenager. A lot of you guys know that because I've mentioned it so many times throughout my YouTube channel and stuff. It's just like one of my favorite hobbies. I've been doing it since I was a teenager. Question number 2, what are your favorite things to knit? I love to knit beanies, scarves, and snoods, which are like little mini infinity scarves. They're really cute and stuff. So like they're just one collar and they're one loop and they go over your neck and they're really cute. I knit them because a lot of people order them from me, and plus my mom loves them. My mom has a huge snood stash for me. Question number 3, what's a bad knitting habit of yours? One of my bad knitting habits is I don't remember to check my gauge very much. I forget, because I do knit pretty tightly. I always forget to measure how many numbers of stitches I knit per inch and stuff, so I need to work on that with myself, and I keep forgetting to do that. I do not know why. I just forget to check my gauge all the time. Question number 4, how often do you knit? I knit pretty much every day, or like if I'm at home and not doing anything and stuff, or if I need a break from like YouTube and stuff like that. I just mainly knit when I'm at home, vacation. I knit all the time, basically. Question number 5, what was your first knitting project? My first knitting project, which I have, oops, I dropped my phone, which I have right here, is this little scarf right here. I made for a teddy bear, which I got in a kit at a craft store in Boston, and my mom's friend taught me how to knit. Question number 7, what's your favorite stitch to knit? Me, it'd either be the Edelweiss stitch or the raspberry stitch, because I just love how pretty they look. Question number 7, have you ever made up any of your own patterns? Yes, I have. I made up several, and I'll bring a few of them for you, 3 of them to show you guys. Let me see if I can find it first. This I have made up a few of my own patterns. This is one of my patterns I made up. It's a raspberry stitch beanie. And here is another pattern I made up. This is a moss stitch beanie. And then this is my newest one. This one's my Edelweiss stitch beanie. And then this one I also made up on my own, and it's called a raspberry snood. So that is like what I made up so far and stuff. Those are all, and I made up more patterns, and a lot of them I can't seem to find them right now because they're in my mom has a bunch of them, or they're just, I sold most of them. So yeah, I have, whoops, those aren't supposed to go in there. What am I thinking? Sorry. Give me one sec. Yeah, so I have made up a lot of my own patterns and stuff when I got better at practicing my knitting. Question number 8. Where do you stash your yarn? I stash it in these shelves right there. I have so much. I've actually been going through all my yarn that I didn't finish. When should I stash it? Or if I don't have enough room, I stash it in like grocery bags. This is a little heavy, like Michael's bags and stuff like that. So that's where I stash all my yarn and stuff. Is like I stash it in a bunch of those places. Question number 9. Where do you stash your knitting needles? I stash them, I don't know if you can see right there, over on my vanity in a cup behind a jar. And I had that little jar I made in the I think I made it in the 3rd grade. Question number 10, where is your favorite place to knit? Downstairs in my kitchen. Normally I would knit in my dining room, but because we didn't really have like a table there, I just sat and I sit and knit in the dining room. Maybe I'll try sitting in my new living room and stuff, and I'll show you guys my living room one day. Question number 11. Do you knit on trips? Yes, I do. I always bring knitting whenever I go on trips because it keeps me occupied and gives me something to do and stuff. My stepdad used to hate it when I brought my knitting with me on trips, but my mom wouldn't mind because she liked that I had something to do. Question 2. And one time I forgot to bring my knitting, and then I sat not doing anything, and I was super bored. Question number 12. Can you knit and do things at once? Not really, because I have to be focused on the pattern if I'm doing a new pattern I've never done before, and it's hard for me to pay attention to what I'm doing and stuff and knit. But I can sometimes watch YouTube and knit, but other things I can't. Question number 13. Have you ever taught anyone how to knit? Yes, I have. I taught one of my friends that used to work with me how to knit, and then I tried teaching Josie how to knit, and then I taught a group of girls whose brother I went to high school with how to knit. I also taught, I can't remember, but I taught several people how to knit. Question number 14. What are your pros on knitting? My pros on knitting is like it's relaxing, it's fun, it's creative, it gives me something to do and stuff, and that's what my pro on knitting. Question number 15. What are your cons on knitting? My cons on knitting are that sometimes the supplies cost a lot of money. That is the only con I have with knitting, is like the supplies gets kind of expensive. Question number 16. What are your favorite yarn brands? My favorite yarn brands are Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick. I love Red Heart Super Saber, which I keep in my stash the most. I love Red Heart. I love Patons. I haven't used them in a while. I love Bernat or Bernat. If I pronounced it, is it Bernat or Bernat? Let me know down in the comments below. Some people pronounce it Bernat, B-E-R-N-A-T. Some people pronounce it Bernat and stuff. Let me know how it's really pronounced down in the comments below. Oh, and stuff. I like a lot of, and I also like Yarn Bee or I Love This Yarn and stuff like that. And those are Hobby Lobby brands. And so, yeah, I like those. Question number 17. Which needles do you prefer, metal, bamboo, or plastic? For me, it's metal because I find that the tips don't wear out as much. So here's a pair of metal knitting needles that I have. These are size 15. I use these more than plastic or wood. I hate using wood needles because they're very hard for me. I know a lot of people here on YouTube who knit, or if you're a beginner, you like to use wood needles. I personally don't like using wood needles because I think the tips shave down quicker, in my opinion, and stuff. But despite the fact that the color does wear off on these kind of needles and stuff, they were in my opinion, the tips don't shave down. The color does wear off because it's cheap metal, but the tips, in my opinion, just don't shave down like a lot of other knitting needles do. So yeah, I love using metal because I think the tips last longer, and they're a lot more comfortable for me, and they're just easier for me to work with because I've tried working with plastic and bamboo. They were such a pain. Question number 18. How do you hold your yarn in knitting? I hold my yarn Continental, which is holding it in your left hand, for those who don't know. I know a lot of people usually do it in the right hand. I sometimes do it in my right hand, but that's only if I'm stranding colors because I find my tension's a bit looser. But but mainly I just hold it in my left hand. I knit Continental because that's how I learned how to crochet and stuff like that, because when you crochet, you hold the yarn in your left hand, and I got so used to holding the yarn in my left hand that I started to knit Continental. So I hope that made sense. Question number 19. Do you knit Continental or English method? Like I just said, I knit Continental and stuff. Well, actually, the way I hold my yarn, I'm sorry, I got that one confused. I hold my yarn behind my pinky, in front of my middle and index finger, and behind my index finger, in front of my middle and second finger, and behind my index finger. Sorry about that. That's because I just think it's more comfortable, and it helps me release, and it helps the yarn get through looser. Question number Number 19, do you knit Continental or English? Again, I knit Continental because I find it's more comfortable for me, but if I'm knitting stranding colors in the same row, I knit English because my tension's a bit looser, but again, I love doing Continental because that's what I got used to because I learned how to crochet before I learned how to knit. Question number 20. What are some tips you have for beginner knitters? I'm going to only give 5 because this video is getting long. So my first tip is pick a chunky yarn because then it's easier to see your stitches. Questions number 2 is get bamboo because they might be easier because metal needles are pretty slippery for beginners, but again, if you want to use metal, that's totally fine. My third tip is probably pick a bright color so then you can see your stitches easier. Number 4 would have to be also, please pick a bright color yarn. I know a lot of people probably don't like bright colors, but bright colors helps it easier to see your stitches. And then also, so pick an easy project like a scarf or a small little project because then it's just not as frustrating. Okay, so that was the Knitwit tag. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day of the week for a while, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!